We're at the Indiana Guitar Show, and I have the actual promoter, the big shot of the Indiana Guitar Show, Eddie Prather. He's easy to talk to compared to other big shots.
Well,
but he has the best guitar of the show. Maybe even the best story. Tell us about this guitar.
well, recently I was blessed to be able to go up to the Kalamazoo show that's put on my good friend Sean Van Steelen. And at the Kalamazoo show, I made an appointment with the people that still operate in the old Gibson Kalamazoo factory. And I told them about the fact that my grandfather, who was a coal mining, hard-working fella that made his way up the ranks in West Virginia to being a two-time House of Delegate, congressman there from the state of West Virginia, who was my grandfather.
This is a lawmaker's guitar.
Or breaker, depending on your perspective. And he was born around the turn of the century, and this guitar was made in 1937. My dad was 4 years old at the time.
1937.
Yeah, 1937. And it's a KT-14. Now, the difference between the Kalamazoo guitar and a Gibson guitar is usually something cosmetic. They would take a Gibson guitar, and it had to be their best stuff.
So at the time, this guitar, it was actually the original Gibson factory.
That's correct, in 1937.
And this would have been a Gibson except for...
It may have had some sort of flaw on it that's made it a second. But my grandfather bought this in 1937, brand new, and it was passed down through my dad. And whenever I was a child, I used to take this guitar, and I didn't know how to play the instrument, but that didn't stop me from just whanging on it.
So when
and
you were a
singing.
baby, you whanged on this.
Well, when I was 7 or 8 years old and 9 years old, I was singing Puff the Magic Dragon. And people encouraged me, despite the fact that I'm sure it was,
Oh, it was beautiful, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. But
Okay, let's look at the back of this 1937 Kalamazoo in the original Gibson factory.
Yeah.
And when they moved, the Kalamazoo people stayed behind because they didn't want to move their families.
Well, here is the thing. The Heritage Guitar Company is still there. And they make some of the most wonderful guitars in the old original Gibson factory.
Okay, so you've been to the Heritage factory. Do they still have the vintage Gibson tools, or have they upgraded everything?
It's interesting. When they closed down the factory up there and Gibson moved out, the guy who bought it went in, and when they did the closeout sale, they did an auction, he bought everything. He bought all the tool and die, he bought all the presses, he bought all of it. And he was about the only person to bid on anything because nobody else wanted that stuff. And he didn't even have to move it. It was already there.
How cool is that? Okay, tell us about this neck.
Yeah, this is a V-neck. It's very pronounced, comes back to a sharp V.
Yeah.
You can see where, a lot of playing has happened, or capo use.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then these old tuners.
Yeah. The old open back.
These
tuners.
are original.
Yeah, they're original.
Crazy stuff,
It's
man.
wonderful.
That is a great story. I love the family story, and I love the factory story. Okay, so you're not going to sell it.
I'm not going to sell this one,
But it's worth...
it's probably worth $2,200, something like that. Yeah, probably something like that. But the price is going up on these
Yeah,
because they're vintage.
it's beautiful. Every guitar has a story. Thank you, Eddie.
Thanks, Bradley.
That's a Dolly Parton tuning where you just have to go like this.